Today, we will install Flutter on Windows 11 without Android Studio Code. This setup is minimal and keeps your system clean by installing only necessary tools. So, I will be following my blog post for this video. You can check it out in description. In first step, we will install Git and Java. One important information, that is Java 25 is latest version till March 2026. However, we will be installing older version of Java, OpenJDK 17, for Flutter compatibility. Also, if there is Java already installed on your system, then delete it and copy paste this command to install older version of Java. So our Git has been installed successfully, and once Java get installed, we will close and reopen terminal to make the changes, and after it we will verify the installation of Git and Java. In our step number 2, we will create one separate development folder to install Flutter, Android SDK and tools. Here you can see there is development folder, and inside it there is Android SDK, command line tool and latest folder. In our step 3, we will install Flutter SDK. So first we go inside the development directory which we have just created in the terminal. We copy paste the git clone command which will install Flutter SDK from GitHub using stable branch. So this might take a long time. In the meantime, we can download Android command line SDK tool, which is our step number 4. So click the link, and here in the command line tools only section, download the command line tool zip file for Windows. Once it is downloaded, extract it and copy the entire thing to development/Android SDK/command line tool/latest folder. Okay, so in our step number 5, we will configure environment variable. So let's copy paste the first code, and I think that code did not work as it create a lot of duplicate. So I will delete all the duplicate path that is created by this command. Okay, so let me check, is there any duplicate? So there is no duplicate, and at the end there is Flutter bin path which we need. So for other, we will not copy paste as we already see that it creates the duplicate, so we will manually do it. So we go inside the development/Android SDK and we copy the path, and the path variable is Android home. So go to your edit system environment variable, click environment variable, and here click on new, and in variable name copy the Android home, and in the path copy the user development/Android SDK folder path and click OK. Now we have to add another path which is Android SDK root. So we set the variable name, and in the path we have to give the Android SDK folder path. So copy and paste the Android SDK folder path. Now we have to add in the path, so we double click on the path which is already there, and we paste the command line tool /latest/bin folder. So development Android SDK command line tool, latest and bin folder. So we copy the path and we paste it here. Now here it is the platform tool. So I don't think we have installed platform tool till now. Yeah, so there is no platform tool. So we will add this later on. And okay, so we have to add the Java home also. So the variable name is Java home, and in the variable path, check your PC, go inside the C drive, program files, Microsoft, and the JDK 17, and copy this folder path and paste it in the variable value. Now we have to add the java/bin in our path. So we go to the Java 17, we go to the bin folder, we copy the entire path, and we go to the environment variable, double click path, new, and we paste the path. Also in system variable, double click on path, new, and paste the path. We have set up all the path, and there is two paths that is remaining to set up, which is platform tool and emulator, which we will install and then we will set the path later on. After it, close and reopen the PowerShell. Now we move to step number 6, installing Android SDK package. So copy paste the command and here accept everything by pressing Y and enter key. After it, copy the second command and paste it on terminal. And in this step, we have downloaded the platform tools and emulator. So once it is downloaded successfully, we will add the remaining two platform tool and emulator in our path. So open the edit system environment variable, click on environment variable, then double click on path. Now here we will add the newly downloaded path of our platform tools, which is inside user Acer, development directory, Android SDK, and platform tools. So copy this folder path and create a new and add it to the path. Now we will do same thing for emulator as well. So go inside Android SDK and emulator and copy the path. Then double click on path, then click on new and paste it. So now we have added all the necessary things in our path variable and we are good to go with our next step. So in next step, go to about your PC and check for the edition, and based on the edition, copy paste the command. So this command will not run on normal PowerShell. So run it as an administrator and then paste the command, and you have to restart your laptop before moving to next step. In our next step, we create and launch emulator. So copy the first command and paste it. And after it, copy the second command and paste it. So it will launch an emulator. And after it, let us verify everything by writing Flutter Doctor command, and let's check whether everything is installed correctly or not. So there is one error, Visual Studio error for Windows, which we can ignore it. And there is one warning about Android toolchain, which is fine for now. Okay, so let me show you how to open the emulator. We write emulator -list-abds to list down the emulator name, and we write emulator-abd and name of emulator to actually launch it. Okay, so I again close this emulator and I will again launch the emulator with that same command. So let me quickly create an sample app and run it on the emulator to confirm everything is working end to end. So here I have created the Flutter app using flutter create sample app command, and in our main.dart we will edit some text and we write flutter run in terminal to launch this Flutter app in our emulator. So right now, for the first time I am building this app. It is downloading the necessary tool and it might take a long time. I have fast forwarded the video. Now our app has been built and is running perfectly on emulator. So that's it for this video about Flutter setup in Windows. Today we will set up Flutter on macOS and I will be following my blog post for this video. Link is in the description. In step number 1, we will install Homebrew. So copy paste the command and this will install Homebrew on your Mac. In step number 2, we will install Git. So copy paste the command which will install the latest version and later it will also verify the installation of Git on your Mac. Now in step number 3, we install the Flutter SDK. So copy paste the command and it will take some time. So while the stable version of Flutter is downloading, we can move on to next step. In step number 4, we will configure the ZHRC file. So copy paste the command. Also, I would request you that you do this part line by line. So copy the export path and here paste it on any line of this file, and after it hit Ctrl+O on your keyboard to write. So I just hit Ctrl+O, enter, and then Ctrl+X to exit. After we have done changes to this file, we should reload the file so that changes will be reflected. So now copy the source.zdhsrc line. This will refresh the file so the changes will be relevant. Now after it, just check the Flutter version. If you have already downloaded it, then it will show the version. If it is still downloading, then it will take some time. So you can verify. I again reopen the ZHRC file to verify the export path line. Now in our step number 5, we have to install the Android Studio Code. So go to the official download link and from here download and install and do the normal setup. So I will skip this part. So I already have set up the Android Studio. Let me reopen it again. And here in SDK Manager, you have to download something. So here you can choose any Android. I would prefer you choose the Android 16. And in SDK tool, this is important part. You have to download the SDK build tool, NDK side by side, command line tool, CMake, Android emulator, and SDK platform tools. So you have to check all of it and you have to download while installing for the first time. And also in Virtual Device Manager, you have to create one Android emulator. I have already created Pixel 9. If you have not created it, click on the plus icon and choose any of the device. I recommend you choose either Pixel 6, 7, 8, 9 as latest version as possible. Now we move to next step. So we have to set up the Android SDK path. So copy paste the command and run it in your terminal. Now after it, you have to install the Java. So copy the command line by line. This command will install the Java 17, which is very stable for Flutter development. After it, run these two commands which will set up the Java home variable in the path. And finally, you can verify the installation of Java. Now we move to next step, which is installing the Xcode. So you can either install it from App Store. Just search the Xcode in App Store, download it, install it, and set up. Or you can use this command, so copy paste it and enter in your terminal, so it will download it. Now we move to next step, which is installing Coca pods. So it will take some time, and finally after the Coca pods is installed, you can hit the Flutter Doctor command to verify the Flutter installation. So everything is perfect. Now in Mac, there is simulator pre-installed, so we don't have to install anything. And for Android, I have set up, so I will write emulator AVD pixel 9 no snapshot to open the emulator, or you can open Android Studio Code, go to virtual device manager and open emulator from there. So loading emulator will take some time. In the meantime, let's create one sample project on Flutter. So Flutter creates sample app, which will create an app. Now we go inside sample app, and in main.dart, we change the simple text to Flutter Mac test sample app. Now our both emulator Android and iOS is ready, so we will hit the Flutter run command and we will choose the Android emulator. Again, we open the new terminal and we hit Flutter run. Okay, cd sample app, and after it we enter Flutter run command, and this time we will choose the iOS simulator. For the first time, it will take a lot of time to build this application on Android and iOS simulator. So application is perfectly working on Android emulator. Now let's close this app and let's close the Android emulator so that we can free up some RAM space. Now let's wait for this iOS application to build. So our iOS application is also built on the iOS simulator. Now we run it and the application is working on both Android and iOS simulator. So that's it for this Flutter setup on Mac. Hello everyone, I just installed fresh Linux Mint on my laptop, and now we will set up Flutter without installing Android Studio Code. For that, we will set up all the file and folder manually. So let's get started. So in our first step, we will download some tool like call, git, java, and unzip to extract the zip file, and also some other graphic and build library which the emulator and toolchain will depend on. So we will quickly copy this command and we will paste in our terminal, which will install all the required dependencies. After it, in second step, we will create a separate development folder and we will add a Flutter, Android SDK command line tool, platform tool, emulator, everything in this folder. So we will copy the command and we run that command in the terminal. Here in our file, we can see the development folder, and inside it we have Android SDK, command line tool, and latest folder. So you have to create this exact same folder structure because the Android SDK command line tool has hard coded this folder structure of cmd line dash tool slash latest folder. So the Android command line tool, which we will install later on, will search for this specific folder hierarchy. So make sure to maintain the proper folder name and structure, which I have done. We are not installing Android Studio. If we do it via the Android Studio, then it will automatically make proper folder and file structure and will set up everything correctly. For now, we will do manually. In our third step, we install Flutter. So first of all, in terminal, go inside the development directory by writing cd development, and inside it paste the command. So this command will download the Flutter from official repository and the branch stable. Ensure that we get the stable version of Flutter. While Flutter is downloading, we can head over to step number 4. Here we will download the Android command line tool as a zip file and we will place it inside the folder development slash Android SDK slash command line tool slash latest. So for that, click on this link and it will redirect to the official download page of Android Studio. And if you scroll down, then you will find one section named command line tool only. So from here, we download the zip file for Linux. After it, we extract this entire zip file and we copy everything to development Android SDK command line tool latest folder. Okay, also in our terminal, we can see Flutter has been downloaded. Now in step number 5, we have to configure our bash RC file. Here we will add the Flutter, Android SDK and Java location so that it can be accessed anywhere from terminal session. So for that, we open the bash RC file by typing nano bash RC command, and at the bottom of this file, we add this. So once you paste it, click the Ctrl plus O and then hit enter, and after it click Ctrl plus X to exit. So in our step number 6, we download remaining thing. So we copy the code and we paste in terminal. Also make sure you are in development directory in terminal. Now after it, accept everything by typing y enter. It will take some time, and once it complete, then we move to next step, which is installing the emulator. So copy paste code from step number 7, and after it, make sure to log out or restart your laptop completely. However, I will not do that now. For now I will skip it, but make sure that you log out or either restart. So I am jumping to step number 8, and it include creating the virtual emulator. So copy paste code which will create the virtual Google Pixel 6 Android emulator. Now we can check our entire setup by executing the Flutter Doctor command. And to open emulator, my recommendation is always start emulator with no snapshot. Okay, so let's see the list of emulator. So we should write the correct name, and my suggestion is always start emulator with no snapshot, although I did not do this time. So our Flutter Doctor command. So one error, there is no Chrome, and it is totally fine. And also we are seeing one warning that toolchain don't have the latest 36.0 build, which is fine for now. Okay, so we have set up everything. Now let's create one sample Flutter application. And inside it, let's change some text. And if we write Flutter devices, then it will show the list of connected device. Now we hit Flutter run, and it will start executing. However, I am building this app for the first time, so it will download Gradle file and some other thing, which will take too much time. Also in our emulator, we see some error and warning. So let's close emulator and reopen it. And my suggestion is every time open the emulator by adding no snapshots at the end of the command. So write emulator dash avd and name of emulator and dash no dash snapshots. So our emulator is running. Now we rerun our Flutter application by executing the flutter run command, and you can see our sample application is working fine, and we have successfully done the Flutter setup in Linux without installing Android Studio Code. Also, you can either use Visual Studio Code with this emulator by the command emulator dash avd name of emulator and no snapshot, or you can use your physical device with USB to run the application. So that's it for this video.